Hey Art Fam, it's Luis Martin, the art engineer, and welcome to the safe space. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Oh, there it is. Alright, we are open for business. Listen, I am not trying to be cool here, but when you got the goods. No, I'm kidding. Guys, I'm wearing these glasses because under these glasses I am Night of the Living Dead. No, I got a stye. A huge stye. I didn't want to put you through this. But hey, the show must go on, and I will be fine. You're like, wait, aren't you a witch? Can you take care of it? I can, I am, but magic takes time. So I'm healing. I'm getting ready to share my beautiful brown eyes with you when they are ready. But for now, I'm keeping the shades on to protect you. All right, let's keep this a safe space. So what are we doing? Remember to like, subscribe, become a member. Good stuff is happening, and share this with your friends, and go on and press the follow if you haven't. I would really appreciate that. My eye will heal much better if you did that. But today we're not going to collage, or maybe we'll collage, but we're going to continue part 2. We're going to paint on the little particle board that I found on the street last week, and I started painting this knight of Saint George, I believe it is. But more importantly, the little dragon, Bola. But you can check the video last week to find out what the hell I'm talking about. Alright, check this out. Okay, so this is my little guy. Or my little guys, my little girls, I don't know. I have my knight, my horse that I want to turn into a unicorn, and the dragon. You know, I think more than anybody, I identify with the dragon. Anytime you make art, try to identify with some aspect in your work, because that'll allow you to kind of be present a little bit more, and then you move it as your attention moves from part to space to space. But right off the bat, I sympathize with the dragon. I don't know why, because I just want to be free and cause a ruckus. Okay, so I'm gonna continue painting. What do I have? I guess I should share with you a little bit more of the process, right? I got this guy. So you should be very clean and clean your surfaces. I don't, because I live in a world where I don't know, it just doesn't work that way. And then I can use this for my collages later, so whatever. I use acrylic, and acrylic is fun, but like everything, it gets better when you layer, right? So this is fun, but it's going to get funner, right? That's a word. Once you add more layers of paint, more layers of mark making. So don't get frustrated when you put a stroke of paint and it's see-through and it's ugly and it doesn't have the vivacity that you're looking for. No, that you kind of build up, right? There's some paint like tempera that gives you that right away, which is fine. But otherwise, it usually builds up. One of my secret weapons is this. This is acrylic medium flow aid additive. And what it does, instead of water to soften the paint, I use this. Why? Well, because it doesn't dilute the pigment. Usually when you use water, so imagine, this is the only thing I know about science and paint. Imagine the pigment has little cells, and they're together, right? They make red. But when you put water to make it flow or even to make it lighter, it does that because it separates. When you use gel mediums like this, or acrylic mediums like this, it allows for the color to stretch opposed to coming apart. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Okay, so use this if you can, if you want. If you don't care, don't use it. I got my brushes, and this time I got water. So I've been meaning to get baby wipes. Angela in the art fam was like, hey, use baby wipes. And I thought, whoa, that is such a game changer. I hate getting my hands dirty because I wear white and I don't like to be that artist with the splotchy pants. I've seen it too much. So I try to be as clean as I can. And my grandmother taught me to be clean. So I don't like to get my hands dirty. But baby wipes in your studio is a game changer. Angela, thank you. I love that. Okay, I got my brushes. What else do I need? I got it. All right, what do you got? I got water. All right. So, how are you? How was your week? Are we keeping it together? I also, so as the world continues to whatever it does, it's interesting the things that we gravitate to, right? So again, I gravitated to this knight, and what does knight represent, right? It's a fighter. Maybe this is the only way subconsciously I felt I can show up as a knight, right? Show up here and offer you my sword of creativity. So, let's explore that later. All right, let's jump on this. Okay, so this is my source material, and again, I had to compensate because this space is longer, this is a little bit wider, and I just want to play you guys. So obviously, I'm gonna make him brown because I'm brown, and anytime you can make art that directly represents you, or you have some kind of affinity to it, the more authentic it'll be, right? I'm not saying you have to make everything into a female of a certain age or look like you, which usually does, but I'm just saying the more you put yourself in your art, the better it'll be. I was always so surprised growing up that a lot of these religious figures that people pray don't look like them, right? I know the Virgin Mary was supposedly the brown, La Virgen de Guadalupe was like a brown version of us, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then, you start thinking, wow. Anyway, okay, so here, I'm gonna make this knight's face brown. And remember what I told you, I do have all of these black lines outlining what I'm doing, but it doesn't matter if I cover them, because I can, again, make it more interesting by layering things. And this is interesting because as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that this is the only part of this figure's body that shows, right? Because the hands are covered, the limbs are covered. So, that's interesting. And I just wasted a bunch of brown paint. That's okay. Okay. Acrylic is plastic, by the way. I didn't know that. Someone had to tell me, and I was like, that's fascinating. Okay, now I'm going to use white for the feathers, and I'm going to start putting some accents, some highlights. Okay, so this is a really good tip too. When you're painting, have 2 cups. One for your lighter colors and one for your darker colors. Yeah? Does that make sense? Because if I'm going to use white here, it's going to make it gray and murky if I mix it with another color that's not light. So let me see if I can stir up trouble. Okay, I'll do that in a minute, because look what I bought the other day. Isn't this beautiful? It's neon yellow. So as I'm doing this, realize that I have glasses, right? So this is going to affect the way I see the paint, the color, and I mean, we can take it to another level, right? This is symbolic of many things, right? When we're making art and we bring our glasses of judgment, of self-torture, of ego, it affects what we see and how we see what we do, right? So think about that for a minute. Chew on that. And as I said before, painting, for me anyway, is a different part of my brain. So I tend to not be as chatty, although I don't think you can tell at the moment. I've already had a lot of coffee. So yes, okay, so let's talk about it real quick. I have a stye, and they're very inconvenient, but they go away after weeks apparently. I went to a barbecue, put on my glasses, didn't want to gross anybody out. But it's okay. We have to be patient with our body. Patient. Okay, so look at this. I want to play with the highlights of the shield, and now I'm going to play with a little bit of color. How about a little bit of purple? A little bit of permanent violet. What makes it permanent, you guys? All right, just a little splash. Sometimes you just want a tint, right? A tint. Okay. So I've been reading, of course. I'm reading this wonderful. Is it wonderful? I don't know. I'm reading this book on Anthony Bourdain, written by Tim Vidal, who was his director. Basically, he was the show. He made it happen. So if you here's the thing, I'm using my fingers to blend. You can do that. It's not cheating. Do whatever you have to do. Anyway, and it's, I love Anthony Bourdain. You guys, that's what I want in my life. I want to I explore the world already, but I want to take you with me. I want to take cameras, and I want to share what it's like for a brown person to explore the world, because we don't really see that. But as I'm reading it, I'm like, wow, Anthony Bourdain was a jerk. Which, it takes a lot to be creative. It takes a lot to go beyond judgment, right? Because as I'm doing this, right, I'm exposing a lot of myself, and there has to be a layer of I don't give a fuck, period, right? So imagine that times 1,000,000 when you're on TV and people are critical of what you do. So he was an interesting person, if anything, and yeah, I don't know, So it's like I love the idea, but shit, I wouldn't put myself through half of the things these people put themselves through just for what? I was gonna say just for money, but maybe. I don't know, you guys. I'll let you know when I'm at the bridge, but it's a good book. Pick it up if you're into Anthony Bourdain, if you're into this conversation. The next book I got, you guys, I bought a 400-page biography. I needed to emphasize that a 400-page biography on Keith Haring. I don't like Keith Haring's work. I know. For many reasons, but I don't have to explain myself. At any rate, but I love something about the way he lived his life. Again, unabashed. He was a queer man, during the AIDS epidemic, making very sex-positive work before that was even a thing. So I know there's some. Actually, I just told my husband this yesterday, because I was showing him a video, and he's like, "Oh, I don't like that person because they're whatever," and I said, "Eat the fish, leave the bones." That's something that I learned many years ago. Eat the fish, leave the bones. It means eat the meat, eat the important stuff, and leave the things that might hurt you or that don't apply to you, right? So that's super important, my friends. When you're watching TV, when you're consuming stuff, right? But yeah. Yes, I'm a preacher. All right, so now I'm just gonna paint this little horse's mane. So do you see how the process is completely different? When I paint, I need to kind of slow down a bit, right? So let me slow down a bit. Tell me a story. Oh God. And this is how I start singing. When I was starting to, when I was putting the room together to record, I was thinking how I was going to talk about the stye, and I'm like, you know what came to mind? I feel like Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman. I'm going to take off my glasses, and it's going to go. You have to laugh about it, you guys. You really do, or else you'll cry and die. But the only way to heal, really, is to be positive and have high frequency, you guys. Your vibration needs to be positive no matter what the hell. Right? And I know that sounds like crazy mumbo jumbo, but listen to this, and this really got me upset, you guys. So right now, everyone's talking about grounding. All the YouTubers are like, oh my God, grounding is amazing. This is me being a bully. Grounding is amazing, walk on earth, take your shoes off. I said, what? This is what witches have been saying since the beginning of time. Walk with earth. You need to feel the earth, connect to the earth. And it's always been looked down upon, of course, because a witch was saying it, an older woman. But now these people that I'm talking about are usually men, cisgender men, who are scientists, usually white, and now it has validity because they've said it. So just keep an eye on that, you know what I mean? Because then that's when you realize, like, hey, where am I getting my information? And yeah, that always makes me so upset. But because now, after Marvel was like, oh, the quantum field and parallel universes. Yes, we know, we've been talking about this forever. Aztecs, African cultures, like the Aborigine, I guess they would have known if they didn't kill us all. See how easy it is to get away with shit when you're wearing glasses? Okay, so if you feel meek and scared and a little bit not so bold, put on an outfit. Put on an alter ego, right? Put on some glasses, and if you become a member now, you just might get a ticket to boldness. At any rate, okay, so yes, it's my birthday next month, and I'm sending people some crazy stuff. All right, so I'm using this little brush, which kind of takes forever, but I kind of enjoy getting lost in the process, right? Enjoy getting lost. And also, when I say shit like this, people are always like, oh, you're anti-white. No. Oh, you're anti-men. I'm a guy. No, not at all. I'm just not stupid, and I have eyes with styes. And when you see things, acknowledge things. Okay, as I'm talking, let's go to our segment, Ask the Art Engineer. I've absolutely lost it. Let me see real quick where there's more white to be had. Okay, so again, I have conversations with people left and right, and they're not always about art. So I have one, and this one was about relationships, you guys. I'm no expert in relationships, but let's talk about it. So someone was asking, or someone was having a conversation. They're like, should I go back with my ex? And that was it. And that's all I needed to hear, really. Because I read a book. I read this wonderful book. Actually, yes, I did read it. I read this wonderful book a very long time ago, and it's called The Last Lesson. And it really touched me because it was about this man who was dying of pancreatic cancer, and as you know, that's something that takes you very fast. And he had 2 girls that he would not see grow up. And he decided to write them a long letter, a book, addressing certain things that will eventually come up. And one of them was boys, or partners. And in it, he said, and you know, I'm a queer man. Growing up, no one gave me any boy advice. So I took this and I ran with it. And he told his daughters, he wrote to them, he said, when it comes to boys, do not listen to what they say. Never listen to what they say. As a matter of fact, cover your ears and watch what they do. Period. And that was it. I mean, wow, right? Wow. Like, don't listen to what they're saying, because I mean, we all know love songs. We can copy them and sing the chorus easily, but it's in the actions, right? Even if your love language is speech or whatever, it's your actions that make all the difference. So that's my advice. Ask the Art Engineer, you guys. DM me. You know I got an opinion. All right, so that was that. But isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this and see where it takes me. I want to, I do want to collage, I really do, but I'm just really having such a good time doing this, you guys. Because, this is new. Painting with you is new. And it gives me a different relationship to the painting. And as always, I know it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, this is super fucking cool. Okay, I've also been starting to curse like a sailor, you guys. You know what it is? It's just that I don't know. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Okay, and if I offend you, ask yourself why. Okay, here we go. See? I mean, come on. Okay, let me breathe for a second. Because usually when we get offended, it's because it's some kind of a mirror in front of us. Maybe you're a potty mouth and you're not allowing yourself to be a potty mouth, and then I remind you of who you really are. I mean, you know, talk about deep conversations. Where do I want to go next? Okay, I don't want to, so part of me, I love graphic art. I love art that has like thick black lines, and I just want to go onto this and go and outline everything, but I know we're not there yet, so I'm going to kick back for a minute. I'm going to chill out for a second, and I'm going to work on my dragon. Okay, you guys, oh yes, I got an idea. Okay. What color is a dragon? Guess. Brown. Because he's me. He's me. I am the dragon and I am the knight. Oh, okay, now we've got... Who needs therapy? No, I'm kidding. Get therapy. We need therapy. But, hello? Aren't we our best friend and our enemies at the same time? Holy mother. Alright. If you're still watching, send me a message. Let me know if that rang true. I know. So, I keep thinking about taking the video, the show, and really just putting it for my members, because as you can tell, I do say a lot of stuff, and I have more to say, but I can't really articulate on YouTube because I will absolutely be done away with. And the fact of the matter is that it doesn't really matter because they don't pay my bills, right? So if I go to my members page and post my videos with content like, you know, nudes, oh my god, then that won't be an issue. So stay tuned. I'm really ruminating this, and I think that's the best way to go. So I hope you follow us. And if you become a member, even the $5 member, you'd still have access to these videos, only not on YouTube. You'd get them emailed to you or something. Okay, look at this. C'est très beau. So it's really interesting. I went to this barbecue on Monday. Monday, it was a holiday. And it was so cool not to care about my stye. I mean, I wear different glasses, but I wore glasses. But I was like, oh, well, it's cool to be around people that, you know, you feel safe with, and it's not going to be an issue if you look like, you know, hell on fire. So find yourself that group. Find yourself a group of people who won't question your state, or the opposite, will encourage you to heal and ask you what's up. Okay, love it. Look at me, aren't I pretty? Okay. I wish... So in the source material, the head is so small, I made it bigger to give it more emphasis, and I wish we could see it. Maybe I can draw more of him. What would that look like? Okay, so I'm just gonna go and free ball. Is that a word? Is that a thing? No, that's something else, I think. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it freely. How about that? So this is going to be interesting because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. So maybe this will be a part 3. What do you think? Is that too much? Are you like, where's the collage? I was promised collage. But something's happening, you guys. Something's happening. I love our conversation, but it's... See how, you know, you pivot. It has the effect. Something different is happening. Okay. Oh. Something I wanted to share as well. And this would be easier if, again, it was in that paywall, because then I could be more frank. So I've been dry for 1 year. And the other day I went out and I had and I had some mezcal, which was my beverage of choice. And so it had been a year. We went to a club and it was just so lovely, and my friends were there, and I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna do a pump and ceremony and wait until my birthday and make it special. I'm just gonna have a drink now, and enjoy and be thankful for this moment. And I did, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. The bar was super crowded, so it was very inaccessible to get the drink. If it would have been easier, believe me, I think I would have had 5 drinks. But luckily, there was a huge line. I got one, called it a day. But that was it. I didn't want the next day to drink more. I didn't see the purpose. But here's what I learned after 1 year of sobriety. One, people don't care. I've shared this with you before. People absolutely don't fucking care. As long as they're getting what they want, which means their drink, if they want to have fun with you, they're not going to ask you to drink, whatever. And if they do, well, then they're not your friends. 2, how wonderful to be able to take responsibility for your actions. And here's the thing, right? That's rule number one in witchcraft. Yeah. Take responsibility for yourself, right? You do something, you're gonna get it back threefold. It's the golden rule, right? So I think when we drink, we have this scapegoat of like, oh, I was drunk, I don't know what I was doing. Okay, but that was you. You did it. Take responsibility for that shit, right? I was talking to my friend at the barbecue, and he was talking about some actress that I don't particularly like, and I'm like, oh, she's so jaded, and like everybody loves her, blah blah blah. And, oh, he was like, oh, everybody loves her because, you know, she went through heroin addiction and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that's great, but why does everybody always love these stories of people who torture themselves and then they come back? But how about the people who've tried really hard and succeeded not to fall into drugs, right? Like, this is gonna age me, like Madonna. Like, have you ever heard Madonna have a drug problem, or Sade? I know Sade, there was rumors, but leave her alone. At any rate, you know what I mean? So it's all about taking responsibility, and that feels really good. And the last thing I learned is, oh my god, I saved so much money. Like, I could afford to buy anything I want because I wasn't drinking. I saved. Okay, like, here's the thing. I live in New York. A cocktail here is like $20, tip included, right? So, and yeah, so I have I was able to buy records. That was my addiction. Actually, yeah, that's absolutely accurate. All of those records could have been drinks that would have been more harmful than not. Okay, look at this. I love it. You guys, this is really happening. I love it so much. Okay, so if you want to buy this, let me know. Someone was interested in the big painting. I'm so excited now. Even if he doesn't buy it, which you better buy it. No, I'm kidding. Even if he doesn't buy it, it gives me a desire to finish it, to make love to it, because I know someone is looking at it with intent. That makes me so happy. Because as artists, that's really what we need. We need an opportunity to plug in what we do, right? Which is why I love doing this, and which is why I love Collage Dreams community playground with the members, because there's a place for them. There's a place for you to share and have a conversation and plug in what you do. Okay, where are we? We're at 28. Holy mother, that went fast. Okay, so I'm gonna stop soon, but I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just color. I'm gonna block in some dark color. Actually, I'm gonna do it with blue. So here's a tip: never use black. It'll make all of your artwork richer. So what you should do instead is use blue and red and make a really beautiful kind of a purpley black, and just believe me, it makes such a difference. This is Hooker's Green. Yeah, I swear to God, that's what it says. Oh, here you go. Okay, I love this one. This one is turquoise. Turquoise. I love turquoise. Turquoise jewelry, turquoise people. Okay, and I think once we do this, we're good. And in the comments, please let me know. Is this too much? Do you miss paper? Have I totally taken us somewhere ridiculous? And send me your questions, because I love I love talking. I'm taking a trip soon, and I'm so excited to be to get away in a nice hotel and sequester myself for 2 weeks. And I'm hoping to write. No, I'm not hoping. I will write. What I write, God only knows. But I'm excited to have an opportunity to really play with words and narrative and story. So we'll see how that pans out, and we'll see if they have a table for us to do this. I'll definitely take you with me, so stay tuned. Actually, next week I'll be there. Where? I don't know, but I'll be there. So you see, I could have used black, but black would have just been a shadow. Look at this is blue. Isn't it yummy? I think I got paint in my mouth. Ugh. Okay, so just really quick, also back to the stye. I was using oil on my skin and it clogged my pores, so be very careful. Because everything has a side effect, right? Just be careful. Okay, is there anything else I can do here? I kind of like all this shadow, so let me put some of this here. Because you know, when you introduce a color, don't only use it once. Try to use it at least 3 different times, so there is movement. Can you see that? So there's movement in what we are doing, so the eye can move around. Oh my god, do you remember that song? I love that song. Tom's Diner. Okay, really quick. Ooh, and when you paint, that silence actually is lovely, because you can kind of hear the paint gliding. Oh, I love this. Je l'aime beaucoup. Me encanta. Okay, and it's okay. I can go back and put his teeth later. Voila. Bon. Okay, this is part 2, you guys. I'm happy. I'm done. And next time, I really am excited about using this. Look at that iridescent orange, iridescent yellow. God. All right, you guys. No matter what's happening, keep your cool. Get some sunglasses, and we'll work it out. All right, this is Luis Martin reminding you and inviting you to be part of this community. Go become a patron. Go become a member, and jump in on this. All right, I will see you here, there, and everywhere you take your phone. Cheers.